This is the modern day hippie, MDH Nate, and this poem is what I think about. I'm not really sure if this is a rant or a bunch of meaningless ink. It's going to end up on paper and mean nothing. They say that you should write a poem about what you think about, but I don't want to go home and write another mad poem or a sad poem, go home and cry alone poem. So this poem isn't about the sad and the weak, how some people will be forever hurt and some won't get a chance to speak. And this poem isn't about the radical acceptance of what we think that love is. You see, love in its realest form can't be touched. So how can it be something that we celebrate only one day a year with flowers and cards and candies and teddy bears? Love is watching loved ones fucked up and not leaving. Well, under normal circumstances. Love is compassion, it's intelligence, it's interaction, it's compassion, it's hand-holding. It's that sick feeling you and you're not around the one or the ones that you care about. It's about being there in times of need or in times of joy, whether you're happy or sad, mad or glad. But this isn't a love poem. And this isn't a feel sorry for me or a feel sorry for we type poem. A poem how my daddy loved the booze just a little bit more. Every time I was fucked up, I couldn't get off the floor, and how she wasn't able to eat because she was that poor. If I had wings, we would take off and soar. But this isn't a drug poem. A poem where I could talk to you about the ecstasies of ecstasy. Smoking blunts and packing bowls. See, you can smoke joint after joint and listen to your favorite song, get high in the sky. You could be Cheech and I'll be Chong, but inhale, make sure like knowledge you pass it along. You see, it's not about that 9-foot tall dragon that you saw while you were on acid, or the head in your purse that started talking to you while your ass was dancing. It's not about how much white that we put up our nose, or the fact that some of us have shot heroin everywhere between our tongue and even in our toes. It's not about that stone kid in class. All you did was say hello, and that was enough to make him laugh. He's an ass, or maybe he's just misguided. Either way, this isn't a drug poem. And this isn't a friendship poem. A poem where I could talk about my friends, good people, some who have cried for me, some that have died on me. But this isn't a long-lasting, never-stopping, breathing to the end type poem, a poem about being misunderstood. Understand me for me if only you could. How sometimes alone and confused seems like a common thing. When those birds outside, they don't sing. And I could really care less if you think I'm being crass, because the entire Bush administration from top to bottom can kiss my red, white, and blue ass. You see, I feel like sometimes I'm the reckless youth. And that's why on that morning I stepped into the booth. You see, I felt that I was going to vote for hope and pride and not that same old hate. And that's why November 4th will always give me 44 reasons to remember it as an important date. But now this new president seems to have hate, some sort of a problem, but that doesn't mean that I can't continue to try to change. I can't try to hope for something and maybe give pride to something that I can do for something else, for someone else. Maybe I'll give hope to a teen that's new on the scene. To him, just think it makes him a fiend. Try to poem about girls, hips and lips, clits, tits and fingertips. Try to poem about fucking and sucking and sweating and screaming. Oh God, don't stop. To write a poem. To write a poem that's got worth. I feel like I've had these ideas since birth. Sometimes I feel like late at night thinking is a curse when I walk the earth. To write a poem that makes you remember your first kiss. Internal bliss, don't resist this. To write a poem. To write a poem that takes her out of denial. Out of denial, all the while realizing she doesn't have to travel even a mile just to get love. To write a poem. To write a poem that makes the unseeable clear, to be in touch with your feelings and not be called a queer. You see, the people that say that are just trying to hurt you, but have some ignorance inside of them, and it's going to hurt like a sharp spear, but fuck them. Let's just be clear. So I want to write a poem that continues to sing, and I want to write a poem that makes those damn birds sing. I don't want to write a poem about pain or pout. I think I just came up with a poem about who I am and what I think about. Modern day hippie MDH, Nate.